Hey everyone, what's going on? Nexi is here, bringing you guys another Windwalker Monk PvP, PvE, and just a general guide regarding Transcendence. So, Transcendence is one of the most creative abilities you can use. You can do so many different things with this ability, whether it's using it for objectives, defensively to live, offensively to stay on a target, or just to shorten some distance when you're solo raiding. There is so much you can do in terms of repositioning yourself with this ability. I figured I would make a video guide discussing some of the ideas and strategies that you can use with Transcendence in some of the areas of this game. So first of all, what does Transcendence do? Transcendence allows us to place our spirit at our location for 15 minutes on a 10-second cooldown. Transcendence Transfer, its counterpart, allows us to swap places with our spirit every 25 seconds as long as we are within 25 yards of our spirit's location. Transferring will also heal us for 25% of our maximum health over 6 seconds when we unlock the healing trait artifact from, of course, the Windwalker spec. Transcendence can be used through all lines of sight, including arena pillars, walls, and floors, allowing its flexibility to be used both defensively and offensively when placed accordingly. Defensively, we can Transcendence behind line of sight to avoid any cast, such as a full moon, a polymorph, hex, ebon bolt, greater pyroblast, and many more. Anything that's basically a cast time, you can line of sight and avoid completely. In addition to avoiding casts, we can also Transcendence to avoid any form of pressure. If you see a warrior pop his Swifty macro, simply Transcendence behind a pillar and line of sight him until it expires. If your healer ends up in a CC chain and the enemy starts to burst you down, simply Transcendence away and tell your healer not to use their trinket because they can sit that CC and you'll take no damage behind LOS if used properly.
Hear the hex?
Okay, Thal kills. He might burst me here in a second. If he does, I'm going to karma it.
Oh, hex, fuck.
Alright, I'm just going to port real quick.
And he feared me after that, so
Yep.
I'm far away from you.
I'm still lining. Everything's okay. Porting.
Melded the hex.
Oh, you melded it? Okay. I ported it. I wasn't sure if you were going to get that.
Oh, now I'm hexed. Well, I guess it's better that you were back there. Goddamn hex.
As you can see, I use Transcendence every time my healer ends up in a CC chain. If I'm the target, I simply just avoid damage every 25 seconds with Transcendence, allowing my team to preserve their defensive cooldowns as well as mine. Instead of my healer having to trinket a hex, for example, to keep me alive, they can just sit the CC while I transfer away, taking little to no damage while they end up on DR and sit the full CC without having to use anything. This allows me to go back on the offensive with the enemy's CC and defensive cooldowns exhausted while keeping my healer's trinket, pain suppression, or my touch of karma. You can also use Transcendence just to proc the Healing Winds trait, because sometimes you just need that extra healing, which is definitely the case in PvP situations where you don't have a healer. When we unlock our honor talents, we also receive the choice of choosing a talent called Eminence, a passive honor talent which reduces the cooldown of Transcendence Transfer by 5 seconds, providing us with a significant defensive increase by allowing us to avoid damage and proc Healing Winds much more often. Unfortunately, Eminence isn't used too often because of Fast Feet being far more valuable offensively in most situations. There are, however, some situations where the extra sustainability would be more valuable, such as queuing double DPS 2s, queuing into melee DPS healer in 2s, queuing into double DPS melee in 3s, or maybe flag carrying in battlegrounds. Transcendence can also be used offensively when placed in an area you expect the enemy to retreat to. Placing your Transcendence on an enemy monk's Transcendence or a warlock's portal will allow you to remain on them when they retreat with the same ability. You can also just leave it in an area you expect players to retreat to, such as a pillar where you would maybe expect a Restoration Druid to basically displace their beast too. Transcendence can also counter knockbacks. Many classes can knock you off ledges, causing you to fall to your death or at the very least lose all offensive pressure. If you know a knockback is present in the area, make sure to place Transcendence ahead of time so you can Transcendence back in an instant, allowing you to remain offensive and hopefully not die. Objectively, Transcendence can be used to capture flags faster, prevent base captures, or get to a location faster for a boss mechanic.
We just delete the healers.
What?
We just delete the healers.
Yeah. Dude, I just fucking siphoned them, and then you just kinda stun them and they die.
50% of mass. Go hard, go hard, go hard.
Polly, you can go.
Demon
Bubbles
Hunter
already down.
on
Stay on
Mage
him,
Tower.
stay on him.
Rogan Demon Hunter on Mage Tower.
Run now.
To the edges.
Behind it. Another one right after this. Get up when you can, Fruity.
I don't have it. I used it last fight.
Oh, forgot.
These are just some of the examples that you can do with Transcendence. There are so many different ways you can be creative with this. If you're trying to go down a slope in the Storm High Mountains and you don't want to fall to your death, you can Transcendence to heal yourself, you can Transcendence just in time to minimize some of the fall damage. There's so many different creative ways you can use this ability, and it's up to you when you play your monk to try it out in many different situations. There used to be a time before Blizzard patched it where if you place Transcendence, enter a boss encounter, and then when the boss died, you could Transcendence to move forward a bit further than just simply manually walking. This was very important for saving time when it came to solo running, say Icecrown Citadel, or any old raids like that. So overall, I'm going to leave this guide here for you guys. I hope I covered some of the examples here and some of the ways you can use Transcendence. Just keep in mind there are many ways you can use it defensively, offensively, and utility-wise in terms of objectives or boss mechanics, either in PvP, PvE, or even just out in the world where you're not really doing anything. I do hope you guys enjoy this Transcendence guide. If you have any questions at all regarding this ability, or you want some extra guidance, just let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on my next guide. See you guys.